Dear students, you are welcome and highly welcome to this second in the series of our e-facilitation for ANP506, Animal Health and Diseases. Animal Health and Diseases. You know my name already. In the first class, I introduced myself, but let me introduce myself once again. My name is Dr. Abayomi Samuel Bankole, your course facilitator for ANP506. Yes, no doubt we started last week on this e-facilitation journey, and I know that you must have seen the recorded video because I didn't really have anybody join the class last week, but the recorded version is available. You can check that on the platform. And so we are simply going to continue in the second class today. And that is what we are here to do. Let me quickly share my screen so that we can get the class started. Yes, here we are. We have, sorry, let me just check out this very well. Okay. All right, so, all right, so here we are. That is the topic before us this today. And, we are talking about factors affecting the health status of our animals. The health status of our animals. Sorry, let me try to. Good. So we are talking of factors affecting the health status of animals. So let's go straight to the introduction. Now, you will recall we discussed on disease during topic 1 class. However, there are certain factors that predispose to or prevent disease conditions in animals. Now, what are these factors that can affect the health status of animals, and how do they affect animal health? Again, we look at what ways can we prevent these factors from negatively affecting our animal. These are questions we intend to provide answers to as we progress in today's class. So we have 2 major intended learning outcomes. At the end of today's topic, we will be expected to identify factors that commonly influence the health status of animals, and also to discover effective control measures to minimize the negative effect of these factors on the animals. So let's get straight to it. Number 1, factors influencing health status of animals. Now, predisposing factors to disease can be said to be conditions which enable an infection to be established or that support the development and or multiplication of disease-causing microorganisms or parasites. Now, the factors that influence the health status of animals are quite many. Some can be controlled, while others are not easily controlled. Now, they are divided commonly into 2 classes. Number 1, environmental, and 2, management factors. Now, these factors vary in their degree of importance with respect to different livestock diseases. And We'll begin by looking at environmental factors. What are they? Now, these are physical in nature. They influence the health status of animals to varying degrees and cannot be controlled in an animal facility depending on the sophistication of the facility, or rather they can actually be controlled in an animal facility depending on the sophistication of the facility and the species of livestock. Now, so we are going to pick these factors, the environmental factors, one after the other. So we'll start with temperature. That's number one, temperature. Now, animals have the ability to withstand severe temperatures, but this will significantly affect productivity if the exposure is for a long period. This is because the animal will become stressed, and stress increases susceptibility to disease. So you have to prevent anything that can stress the animal. Now, number two is humidity. Humidity. High humidity will provide or promote the growth of certain microorganisms like fungi, whereas too low humidity will result in the irritation of the mucous membrane. Now, humidity is important in poultry since they do not have sweat glands and it is lost through the respiratory tract. Another environmental factor, the third one now, is solar radiation. Now, this plays a role in increasing the heat load on animals. It is significantly important in hot, humid zones, especially in Nigeria, with the importation of exotic animals or the use of exotic semen from temperate countries to upgrade indigenous livestock breeds. Solar radiation can be a problem in animals without pigmentation. However, the effect of radiation are minimized by providing shaded pens. Another factor, environmental factor, is ventilation. Now, ventilation can help in heat loss through evaporation and conduction or convection. Now, ventilation actually can assist in the supply of fresh air and the removal of toxic air from the environment of the animal. We go straight to number 4 environmental factor, and that's rain. Now, heavy rainfall can result in excessive cooling for animals and marshy conditions where animals are kept. This can predispose animals to conditions such as foot rot in ruminants, and so provision of shelter and good flooring with drainage is a very good method to guide against this problem. Another environmental factor is climate or season of the year. Now, climate or season of the year can actually influence the health status of animals by having a bearing on infectious agents or parasites that predominate at any particular time. For example, helminth infections are common during the rainy season due to the effect of temperature and moisture, which largely determine the ability of a parasite to survive outside its oats. Now, that is it for environmental factors. Now, we go straight to the second category of factors that can affect the health status of our animals, and that is management factors. So we pick them one after the other and say one or two things on that. So number one here is hygiene. Yes, hygiene. Now, good hygienic practices are good means of reducing disease risk within a herd or flock. Simple procedures such as cleaning of where the animals stay or changing or bedding or flooring can help reduce the degree of contamination or parasitism. Cleaning removes feces and thus disturbs the normal environment favorable to disease-causing agents such as gastrointestinal parasites by preventing them from completing their life cycle. It is also important that feed, water, water sources are not contaminated. So we'll go straight to the second management factor, which is nutrition. Now, adequate feeding of all classes of livestock is important in order to increase disease resistance and achieve maximum production. Poor nutrition leads to poor health of animals. Of course, that goes without saying. Now, because of the poor feed resource base for livestock in Nigeria, questioned by the seasonal feed shortage, grazing livestock in Nigeria experience an exacerbated condition or situation when exposed to infectious agents. Now, it is therefore necessary for you to provide supplemental feeding to livestock, especially during the dry season. For poultry and other classes of livestock, the high cost of feed ingredients can actually lead to compounding of feeds low in nutrients. So that will definitely affect the productivity in this livestock feeding. So we'll go straight to third management factor, which is type of housing. Now, different categories of farmers use different housing types and different methods to raise livestock depending on the species or the resource available, as well as the level of education. Now, the particular housing system and method of raising animals can influence the rate and severity of infections, especially parasitic infections. So for ruminant animals that are housed where pasture growth is suppressed or flooring is intact, and feeding or watering troughs are kept above the floor, will be at lower risk of contracting diseases of gastrointestinal parasitism. Absence of pasture will actually make the environment unconducive for parasite multiplication. Now, for animals on pasture, on the other hand, the level of pasture contamination depends on factors like concentration of animals, duration of the time spent by animals on the pasture, the climate, or weather condition, among other factors. Now, it is important, therefore, that housing choice and method of raising livestock is such that it reduces infection risk or enhances animal status, health status. Yes, so we go to number 4 management factor, which is ecology or pests and wildlife. Now, most parasites that transmit diseases utilize intermediate hosts to complete their life cycle. Now, these intermediate hosts can be pests or livestock. It is therefore essential not to unnecessarily expose livestock to pests and wildlife. Now, this is a major problem with ruminant owned by nomads, as close contact between these animals and wildlife leads to constant exchange of parasites. Number 5 management factor is introduction of new animals or number of animals added together. Now, there's always the risk of introducing new parasites into a herd or flock when adding new animals to the herd. Now, this can be a major problem where replacement animals are brought or bought from the open market or neighboring farm. In other words, any new animal to be added to an existing stock should be quarantined and treated appropriately before the addition. So now, the ease and risk of disease transmission increase with increase in the number of animals. This is due to frequent contact between animals and consequently eases disease transmission. Now, high number of animals usually result in increase in feces accumulation within confined areas, and this encourages endoparasitism. In poultry, for instance, it's advisable to always clean and disinfect houses before bringing new birds or allowing the house or pen to be empty for some time. All right. Basically, that's what we have to discuss today. So in summary, what have we been able to discuss? We have successfully looked at the factors that impact on the health status of our animals. Number two, we have equally seen that these factors are capable of exerting a significant influence on productivity and profitability of livestock in general by contributing to the occurrence of diseases. And finally, we have stated the importance of controlling these factors to minimize stress and ensure that animals remain healthy for maximum productivity. Yes, so we have come to the end of today's class, and I hope you enjoy the class. Very short class and straight to the point, no beating around the bush. Yes, so that is our class for today. Please, I will implore you to attend classes. It's very important for you. You can be able to ask questions that are not, that you are not caring about on the subject matter, and that will help a great deal. So please ensure that you attend classes. Last class, no one was in class. Today also, I can't find anybody in the class. So please attend, and this is a final year course, and it's necessary that you attend classes. All right, so till we meet in the next class, I would like to say bye-bye. But before I say bye-bye, let me also remind you that this class is being recorded and will be available on a virtual learning environment. So you can just find your way there and listen to this class once again. All right, so see you in the next class. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.